their own
So
thing here.
somewhat familiar territory for them.
But it
More
looks,
familiar.
as I said, it looks very different than Civilization
Yeah.
to me. So
No, that's a good catch. I remember seeing that one during the conference, so good catch on remembering that one.
yeah, and I mean, you know me, I like those types of games. So,
yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that I don't want to like go through all of it, but I just wanted to look at Starfield because that was the other big one. But like for me at least, like Grounded has been out, but not in a 1.0 state. So
yeah,
it going to 1.0 is a big deal. This is the Obsidian group, the Obsidian devs. So they're like, I have confidence that one's going to be pretty fun for people who like that genre of like kind of that survival genre. And like the Flint got locked Siege of Dawn, like that was interesting, semi-interesting game.
Yeah, that looked like it might be fun.
That was the action game, kind of interesting.
Yeah, third person action game.
Yep. I don't know what other ones. I don't want to talk about Fallout 76.
There was another Team Ninja game that looked kind of like Nioh. I don't remember what it was called.
That's right. Is it the Naraka Blade Point? Is it this?
Is it? No, that's the Naraka Blade Point. Is that mobile? That's a mobile.
Oh, this is the NetEase game.
That's the NetEase. Yeah, that's the NetEase game.
Gross.
Go
more.
Do not remember.
High on Life. No. Not Benedict. Wulong Fallen Dynasty.
That's the one.
Yep. So there's that one. There's the there was a stealth game that looked a little bit like, that like everybody was saying,
Hollow Knight Silk Song.
That one.
Jizzed over that one.
Yeah, that one was
because people are, and they didn't announce the release date, but they did say in this conference that everything in this conference, at least right now, they are planning to come out in the next 12 months. So
yeah, this is this was another big one for the I guess we'll just say the indie crowd. But Hollow Knight's quite popular.
This game is very well loved by many people.
Yeah.
It's a really good indie game.
And this is Game Pass also, so just more highlighting of Game Pass. Okay. Yeah, let's get the trailer up for this. I think we have to. Okay, so the trailer for this is pretty long. Okay. We're not going to play this whole trailer, okay? But how nice are we going to be about this game? Are we going to try and be nice, or are we going to be critical?
I mean, I think we can be both. I think some things in this game looked really cool, and other things to me were unimpressive.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you there. I think I'll be critical when needed because I was, I'm critical with like games like Pokemon all the time. So, the quality on this is not. There we go. Let's put it at 1080p. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because some of this early stuff is just, Todd Howard stuff. Okay, so here's some. Let's pause that. Here's the game. Here's the gameplay. This is gameplay. I'm gonna assume this is on like either a Game Pass PC, like Xbox app PC, or or the like Series X. I have to assume
so
it's done.
Can we just pause? Yeah, we just pause right here.
Yeah,
this smoke texture is horrible.
This is one of
the
worst.
They showed it a lot in this trailer. Like they showed this ship landing or taking off quite a bit, and man, is this smoke texture garbage. Holy moly. Like, come on. You can do better than this, Bethesda. That is an embarrassingly bad smoke texture.
It's bad. It's really bad.
I guess maybe I shouldn't call it texture. Smoke effect.
The effect is really bad. I'm with you. This is the kind of thing you don't show, but they showed it.
The fire effect coming out of the jets of the ship aren't very good either.
No, they're not. They look dated. This effect reminds me of like Fallout 4. Kind of like fire effect that I saw from the jet propulsions in some of the quests. You'll see it'll fire like jets. There's one that's like a Brotherhood Steel first quest. It looks just like that, and it doesn't look good. Like that's not a good effect either. I actually just want to say I like the ships though.
Yeah, the ships are cool.
ships look interesting.
Basically, like, my gist, at least on this trailer, was that, like, the beginning was kind of unimpressive and boring, but the longer it went, they kind of delved a little bit deeper into some of the systems in the game and showed some different stuff. And it looked a lot better. The beginning of this trailer, I don't think they led with the right thing in this trailer. Like, this beginning part doesn't look that good. The combat looks really generic.
Yep.
And there was a lot of, like, No Man's Sky-ish looking thing with, like, the survey, which, like, maybe that's good, because I know people like No Man's Sky now, but I think there's going to be No Man's Sky-esque resource collecting and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, and that's fine. Like, I don't understand the people that are like, oh, it's No Man's Sky. It's like, well, what do you want them to do?
Yeah.
It's a space exploration kind of game.
Yeah,
like, what do you want them to do?
It's an open world space exploration game, right?
Like there's gonna be stuff like crafting, like it's gonna be there. My whole thing watching this was there were times when I would watch it, and it looks like they're using their same engine again. I don't think they've changed their engine,
which is
a little bit disconcerting.
I wish they at least would have updated it or just used Unreal or I don't know. Like, it's just like we're using the same engine that we've been using for like 10, 15 years. Like, give me a break, guys.
At least the graphics look better, but I don't know. Watching this again, I think the graphics aren't horrible or anything, but the first time I watched this, I was watching this and I was like, this looks like a game that could have came out on Xbox One. Sometimes I would watch it.
The graphics aren't bad.
No, they're not.
But for the production value and the money and the studios that they have behind this should be one of the best looking games out there, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
it really should be. But like when I was watching it, that was my first thought. I was like, this looks like a game that came out on Xbox One. But now that I'm watching it again, I like. There's the generic combat. Like, here's your gun. Like, you know, it's a Bethesda game. They're not gonna complicate anything.
Yeah, I mean, but there doesn't seem to be any. Like, there's no VATS. There doesn't seem to be any extra mechanics to the combat in this game. At least that we've seen so far. It's just
not yet.
It's just see enemy, shoot enemy.
Yep.
Right? Like,
yep. That's so far.
You have 4 guns that you can swap between, apparently.
Yep. Well, more you'll have more than that. That's like a Fallout thing. That gun swapping, it layers. Yeah. So
and they have their lockpicking minigame.
Yeah, this was hysterically bad. I remember this and thinking, wow, they used their lockpicking thing and somehow made it dumber. Like, that's a horrible, like, lockpicking puzzle. I don't expect too much, but, like, Jesus. There could be more combat mechanics that the person isn't showing, but I feel like this is a big demo. They should be showing everything.
I hope there's, like, some... There doesn't need to necessarily need to be like VATS or something like that, but there needs to be both interesting weapons and maybe like gadgets and stuff like that you can use, right? To do things like, I don't know, stun enemies or, I mean, I hope there's more to the combat than just see enemy, shoot enemy, right? Like,
I hope so too. I feel like there was stuff we didn't get there.
Like, if we have this little robot companion dude, I hope you can have your robot companion, like, fight with you or something. Like, or at least help you in some way in combat. That would be cool.
I paused on this character. I just want to comment. The character models look great.
Yeah. If anything went into the budget as far as the graphics goes, it's the faces and the character models, because they look quite good.
They look great. I actually like this robot, too. The robot, like, the textures on the robot, everything looks great on the robot, too.
Mm-hmm.
And the character models look great, so that was I liked seeing that. I think some of the effects were my problem.
Yeah.
As to what they are, what they're building.
Yeah, and it looks like the main quest, from what they were describing, is going to be very, like, I mean, it makes sense for an open world exploration game, but it's going to be very, like, you know, ancient prophecy, collect the MacGuffins type main quest.
What a surprise.
I
wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't that. They'll show it later. I think there's going to be some settlement building. So here, I just want to highlight, here's what I like to see, though. Like, I'm sorry, I'm backing up, but this is the kind of stuff that I like to see, is when you go to explore places like cities, this is what I like to see. Like, there's a lot of stuff to look at, and it looks really interesting.
And you definitely want to see variety in the planets and the cities and the environments in a sci-fi game like this.
That's exactly.
You don't want everything to look the freaking same. Like,
I don't want everything to look high tech like this. I want there to be some archaic styled planets as well.
Like, I don't know, yeah, like Mass Effect Andromeda, for example, I think was like really bad in the world, like the area design for a sci-fi game.
Yeah, horrible. Oh god, the fire effect there. Oh, so bad.
Yeah.
Oh
god, yeah, no. Let's go back and see that again, or pause there. That fire effect was actually embarrassing. Like,
oh god, I'm getting to it. Oh god. Here, oh my god. Oh, that's really bad.
Like, oh god, that looks so bad.
Oh yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah. That's like some
my eyes hurt.
That's like some PS2 crap. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, that's some PS2 crap right there. Like, jeez.
Yeah, that's like PS2,
maybe PS3.
Xbox
like...
360 Dragon Age is like coming to mind right here. And that game, you know, even for that had bad graphics. That game had bad graphics.
Oh. Yeah, whoever they, like, again, it's still, like, this game's still not coming out for 6+ months, so they've got some work to do, but
I don't know.
Like, their VFX guy needs to have another pass on some of their VFX going on here.
I think that's the main issue. The textures, I think they're fine for me. The character models are great. I love the character models in this.
And here's another thing they're showing kind of in this reel right here is, you want to see a variety in the environments and variety in the enemies too. You want to see like cool creatures.
Yep.
If you're fighting humanoids, different types of like technology and weapons that you could run into on different types of planets, different creatures, robots. Like, we need good enemy variety, good environment, and good enemy variety in this game.
I agree. I think that's all needs to be there. If they can accomplish that, in like a solid way, that's fine. I think they obviously this game's been cooking for a bit. They need to do. They need to do something spectacular.
Yeah.
Here's the character creation. Get some hair colors and all that. So here's the backgrounds. So I'm just pausing on the backgrounds real quick. So this person, for example, has like Chef as this background. Now, when I looked at this, I actually thought this looked like Oblivion. In Oblivion, there were a lot of backgrounds that you could choose. There was like Thief, like Mage, things like that. They're different names than I just gave, but this reminds me of Oblivion because there was like skills that you were good at with those backgrounds. Obviously here it looks like there's only 3 skills, but for this one, like Chef has gastronomy, dueling, and wellness. So craft specialty food and drinks. So that might matter for like crafting healing and such. Melee weapons do more damage and then immediately gain 30 points of health. So like their backgrounds give you some extra starting skills. So here's another one, combat medic. You get some extra healing and pistol damage. Actually there was one here. It looked like it had like, persuasion. So speech challenges. That's a big thing in these types of games from Bethesda. Here's a diplomat. Seems like there's a decent number of options for background, which is good.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, just by a face count there, it looks like it obviously scrolled further, but it looked like there might be 25 to 30 of them or something like that. So
I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Here's some traits. So it scrolls down a little bit. So whatever you see on the screen, maybe add like 3 to 4 more. So there's like, here's the skill. So introvert, you really need your alone time. You have more endurance when adventuring alone, but less when adventuring with other human companions. Notice how it says human companions. So obviously robot companions exist. Yeah. So that's an interesting one there. So if you pick introvert, you can't be extrovert. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
So I'm just stopping at some of these to read them. You grew up as a member of the Enlightened. So Enlightened could be some religious-based faction, maybe.
I would guess that. Yeah.
It's an organization. Maybe it's like a merc group. I don't know. Interesting. Raised universal. So here's another one. Space. Your bodies become acclimated to space. Health and endurance are increased when in space, but decreased when on the surface. So kind of interesting. You own a small house on a peaceful little moon, but it comes with 50,000 credit mortgage with Gal Bank. So you start with a home, but you have debt.
you have a debt.
That's interesting. That's kind of funny. Like, so you can start with a home to start the game and you get debt, or you can like get it during your gameplay. That's like an interesting. Yep. Oh man, I'm getting Elder Scrolls vibes here.
Yeah. Ooh. No, I mean the character customization looks pretty good. It looks interesting. You could definitely make a bunch of different playthroughs just by making a different character each time, right? Like,
here's the
some skill trees.
Yep, skill trees ranks a lot. There's a good number of things, and it looks like multi-rank up. So this one is targeting. I've paused on. So, and you get it. Your progress is just by doing stuff, which I like to see that. Like to see that. That's like Oblivion. Yep.
Combines the best from our previous games, and you can unlock new skills as you level up.
I'm really glad it's this way. By the way, I want to stress this. I'm much more of a fan of this, where in order to rank it up, you actually do the thing that it is a part of.
Do the skill.
You do the skill.
Use your guns and you get better with guns.
It just makes sense logically. Research projects, crafting, blah 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 blah.
Yep, all things you expect.
Yep. Maybe a little bit of customization when you craft, like you can make your gun look visually a little different.
Yeah. Again, this was the part of the trailer a little bit before this, but like this was the part of the trailer I was like, okay, this is looking better now. The first like 5-ish minutes of the trailer, I was kind of unimpressed, and then you get into.
But then you get to this,
seeing some of the cities and the different areas and the character models, which looked a lot better than the early part, and then you get into the character customization, this base building thing, and then we're about to hit the ship customization and the space combat as well.
So this base building is a much improved version of the Fallout base building. This looks way better to me. And then fire and smoke effect. Bleh.
You can even build your own spaceships.
So you can build your own spaceship. Obviously, I don't know how in depth it's going to be to actually build the ship, but there was a moment.
You can choose crew members.
Okay, you can choose your own crew. I like that idea.
Yes, you can completely.
Okay, so here's the spaceship customization screen where you can add stuff, and it increases the the numbers on some of these. So like fields, engines, it looks like, but also there's a limit. So it says here there's an equipped power and a reactor.
A limit on these things. Kind of off topic, but I saw a funny meme on Twitter after this where they just like they overlaid the gummy gummy making HUD on, or they put this with the gummy creation HUD in the background, and I was like, oh yep, Bethesda copying Kingdom Hearts, or we got to make gummy ships. Like,
oh, look at that ship, beautiful. I don't know, like this is the stuff that I get excited about.
Yeah, no, memes aside, this looks really cool.
This is exciting.
Being able to create your own spaceship.
I love that.
Just how the ship looks.
Thanks. Okay, ship combat time. Here's ship combat time where you fly the ship. I think when you take off and land on a planet, though, you don't actually do that. I don't know if you actually do the full take off into the atmosphere, but
they said that you won't. They said that it's not seamless. You will like select somewhere on the planet to land, and I'm sure you will select to take off, and you will just take off and be in space. So that's a load, like that's a load screen basically, right? So
I'm okay with that for sure.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some people who are like, no, I want to actually take off and land. That's fine, but. Like, No Man's Sky, I think, does that. If you want that, you may want to look there. I like the ship combat, though. I was vibing with the ship combat. It looked fun. It looked pretty fun. Simple.
The ships look like... I hope you can make a kind of, like... I don't know, these ships look a little chody to me. Like, I kind of want a more sleek-looking ship than some of these. But,
yep.
You know.
No, I'm with you. A lot of them look, like, bulky. Yeah, bulky.
Bulky. I would like a little sleek.
This one looks sleek, so hold on. So the one they just showed here looked a little bit more sleek.
Okay.
Definitely more compact. I don't know, like...
Yeah.
I think that's like a bit more of like a individual fighter kind of ship almost.
Yeah.
That looked nice. But like the thing is also a lot of the ships in this game, they're meant to be crewed. So I don't think I think there's like a limit to that kind of thing though. But I think like a lot of these ships are big and bulky because you got like your full crew with you.
Yeah.
So, but still, I get your point.
We can't wait for all of you.
Thank you, Todd.
You can land in New Atlantis.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, right? And then they talk about having 1,000 planets to explore.
Yeah, they got thousands of planets to explore, which I was concerned about for me because I'm like, okay. My concern was you have thousands of planets, and I don't trust you to have those planets be unique enough. I don't think I trust them for that. I feel like we're going to get a lot of samey planets, which is fine to an extent, but I don't want it to be like, I don't want to be too much of that.
I mean, to me, it's like a lot of those planets are just going to be places where, you know, you can just like build one of those bases and like extract resources from them or something like that. And that's fine. Like,
that would be okay.
You know, but they said that, you know, this game has the most handcrafted content that they've ever done. I'm sure there's still going to, with 1,000 planets, there's still going to be plenty of procedurally generated, you know, empty crap basically. Right. But, you know, if the content that is there is good and the universe that they create is interesting to explore and there's enough interesting planets, then I think, you know, I think we could have a pretty good game here. I'm not the biggest Bethesda fan, personally. The only Bethesda game that I've ever beaten is Skyrim. And yeah, generally I find their games very shallow. Like, they're usually very wide. They have a lot of stuff, but yeah, like, you know, wide as an ocean, deep as a pond, basically. Like, their skill systems, there's definitely some to them, but I don't know. I've played Fallout 3, and I just couldn't really get into it. I never played Fallout 4.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I like sci-fi as an idea and a setting, and I think they have some cool ideas here, and I'm definitely willing to check it out. Like, I will probably play this on Game Pass and at least check it out.
That's where I'm at. Is like this coming out for Game Pass folks day one kind of deal. I mean, this is where it's at. It's like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about buying it. I have the service already unlocked, so I'm just going to install it and play it. I like you know, games like Skyrim, and I do like Fallout 4 to an extent. I think that there's a lot of stuff to be explored. My biggest thing with them is if you want to get the lore, I guess is the way to put it, you do have to go out of the way to get it, though. And you gotta like you got to read the books in the game. You got to do this. You got to do,
Yeah.
you got to talk to all these people, and then you got to connect the dots from all those conversations and from the material. And like, it's different than, for example, I play Tales of Arise. Everything I need to know is explained to me as a part of the story.
Yep.
But
it's told to you.
In a game like Skyrim, you know the main story with the dragons, but everything else involving any factions or things like that, they're not going to tell you that. You kind of just have to like go out of the way to get information on things. And like for certain events, like you got to read it in the game. You got to read the book, do all that. So it's there, but it's like a question of like, oh, are you going to go and like pick up the books and do all this? And like, I don't even do that, but like there's like a lot of stuff in like Fallout and Skyrim. There's like whole video series dedicated to like, hey, here's like a bunch of stories related to this like random character or this like specific gun. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of lore there, but the story of Skyrim and Fallout 4, it's not complicated. It's like, hey, look, that's a bad dragon. We should kill that.
Yep.
Okay, let's kill it. Anyway,
I think what Starfield's advantage to me over Fallout and Skyrim is, at least, is kind of it looks like it's going to have more variety, especially in terms of like the environments and the enemy design. I just don't like the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout personally. It's just like, it's all just the same. It's all just like wasteland and I mean, like, that's the setting, so that's just how it is. But I don't particularly like that. I like some variety. Your forests, your forest, jungles, ice areas, deserts, whatever, oceans.
Yep.
So I think Starfield will have that. So yeah, I think this game has some potential. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm obviously interested. I'm in the boat of I'm interested for sure. So Game Pass day one, it's on lockdown, right? But if I was like somebody that's going to buy this, like I think so. Like if you like Bethesda games, I mean, like I think so. I think if you like sci-fi adventure kind of games, I mean, like yes, I feel like yes. So anyway, the other thing that was talked about during this showcase, we have to talk about Overwatch. They talked about Overwatch too.
Diablo 4 as well.
Oh yeah, Diablo 4. I can't believe I forgot to put Diablo 4 up here. So they had I wonder if they put Diablo 4 down here somewhere. Oh yep, here we go. So here's the Diablo 4. So let's start with Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is, for me at least, a little bit more okay. What's my birth date? It's January 1st, 1942. So this one was focused on the Necromancer.
Yeah.
So we had this whole like visual kind of showcase of Diablo 4. Oh, they skipped the part where they showed the Necromancer part.
Oh.
There's no Necromancer part. It's just the beginning of this was like a cinematic of the Necromancer, and now we're just in Diablo 4 gameplay. I don't know who said this, but somebody when we were watching this said like, I think it was Try talking about this compared to like a Lost Ark. It's like, these aren't very flashy moves or anything like that. I'm not necessarily gonna like go into detail on that, but like I like what I see when I look at Diablo 4 here. I like how dark the setting is.
Yeah.
Here. And like the attacks are very deliberate. But that's kind of been like how Diablo's worked. I don't know.
I like that fire snake looking move that we just saw.
Yeah, the fire snake was cool.
In that one.
These are events that take a lot of people.
Oh, there we go. Really have to work so these kinds of events, by the way, that I'm seeing here, Lost Ark has something like this.
Yeah, you got like world bosses.
Yeah, we have like world bosses. So here's world bosses that something like looks a lot like a Lost Ark kind of world boss when I played that for a little bit.
It's epic.
And like you got a full group playing it. Shared world.
To create a community, it makes Diablo more of a social experience.
So there's a shared world part of it.
We've got fully enabled crossplay. If you have an Xbox and your buddy has a PC, you're going to be able to group up. Or you could play couch co-op. 2 people on a couch can sit there and have a great experience.
My God, they said couch co-op. It's crazy.
Where players can engage in PvP.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
If you go there, you can start swinging.
So there's a PvP area.
But you're
Yep.
also open
Which I know that, like,
to being swung
in Diablo, in general, just to be clear, in every Diablo game I've played, you have to flag for PvP outside of the PvP area. Like you have to like challenge somebody to a duel to actually actually engage in PvP. So this area being specific for PvP, it's not going to be the whole game.
Well, in Diablo before, didn't you have to like join games or servers or something in order to play with other people?
Yes. It's not like in this, I imagine it's going to be like server location NA West 1.
Yeah, I think it'll be like Lost Ark, basically, where you'll have servers.
Yep.
That you join, and you'll be able to play with all the players that are in that server.
But previously, you had to join somebody's game.
Make a game, or join somebody else's game.
So here's endgame. This is what they say endgame is.
Whether it's new items or new dungeons or new paragons.
Oh my God! There's the skill tree. There's a skill tree.
The PoE style skill tree.
Every single time you come back to play Diablo 4, there's going to be new stuff for you to experience.
And it's something that we're going to support for years to come.
I'm really excited for folks to get their hands on Diablo 4.
Just to see millions of people really enjoying the different options.
Through the campaign,
Local events,
couch co-op,
endgame.
PvP, it almost doesn't end.
And
We
then
are so close.
the villain is Diablo's, what was it, daughter, sister? What was it?
I think she's called Lilith. I don't remember what the relation is.
But yeah, it's like.
But I'm glad it's not just Diablo again. Like I know the game is called Diablo, and Diablo is usually the main villain. But we've done that 3 times already. We can find something else.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fine. I think having a different villain is perfectly fine for this. Spoon Diablo 4. I'm excited. I'm excited and interested.
I think it looks good. The big elephant in the room right now is Immortal, because Immortal just came out a couple of weeks ago, and people are talking about how bad the pay to win and the MTX are in that game. One of the lead designers on this game, or maybe he's the director, I don't remember, but he tweeted and was like, "Don't worry, D4 is going to be a fully priced game with cosmetic microtransactions and paid expansions, like you would expect from past Blizzard products."
Thank God.
That's what he said. That's what the tweet was, but it remains to be seen. We will see when the game comes out if he was telling the truth about that, or if they, pull a 180 on that one, basically, where like it comes out in that state and then they change it. But that's what they said. They said this game you were going to pay full price for it, which I assume is going to be $60. This game is not on Game Pass, so you're going to have to buy it. They're going to have cosmetics as microtransactions, and they're planning actual paid expansions for the game where you're going to get content. Hopefully they have good post-launch release as well in terms of free updates and content as well. To keep people going until they release the main expansions.
Right.
But we'll see what they do. But I hope they have plenty of good free content and if you're gonna do a MMO-ish shared world, you need events and stuff like that too for the game. You need to do I don't know about weekly, but at least every couple of weeks, maybe once a month, do an event or something like that. Keep people engaged and interested in the game, right?
Well, there'll be seasons, there'll be ladders.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a battle pass in this game, to be honest, and I think people would be okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with the battle pass in this. it makes sense. Like having some kind of battle pass for this would be fine, and I think it makes sense.
I think
Yeah,
people would be okay if it had seasons and it had a battle pass along with those seasons. I think people would be okay with that as
Yeah.
like as a microtransaction in the game, right?
Yeah.
I think people would be okay with that if they did that. If they go any further than that into Diablo Immortal realm, then people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, no,
So
Diablo Immortal is like, it's horrible. Like, it's just, I mean,
Diablo Immortal, they literally took the entire bag of tricks, the entire book of scummy practices that you can do in terms of psychological manipulation and microtransactions and all the things that all the mobile games do, and they just used all of it in one frickin' game. Basically,
yeah,
they poured all the ingredients in one pot and said, "Here it is."
yeah, that game's bad. That's a bad one. Definitely not. I mean, yeah, glad that the person said that. Obviously, I mean, it could start that way, and then in a few months, somebody could say, "Hey, I've got a great idea. We can
I've
make
got
money doing this." And that's just how it is. But no, I'm hopeful for this game. I mean, Diablo Immortal obviously is embarrassing that it exists, but it's a mobile game. Mobile game communities generally, I won't say tolerate, but there are mobile game groups that are like excited for that kind of thing. I'm not really understanding of like why you be excited to drop like $10,000 on a mobile game. I've never understood the excitement behind that, but there are people that are like doing that. There are guilds in Diablo Immortal that specifically ask as a requirement to enter, tell us what your annual income is.
And your income.
What's your income? Because if you're not making more than like $200,000 a year, you can't afford to be in our guild. You're not going to be competitive because you need to spend a shitload of money. So, I mean, there's like that kind of mentality is like very normal.
From what I've heard in the East, like China and Korea, where these mobile games are really popular and they make a crap ton of money, that like it isn't like here where people see a whale and they go, "What an idiot! That person's look how much money they spent on that person. That's a whale. What a moron." In the East, this is from what I heard. There's no personal experience here, so this is kind of just like word of mouth. So I don't know if this is actually true, but it's like it's clout. People see those people, they're like, "Man, that's cool. I want to be like that." It's completely the opposite.
Completely different culture. Different culture. Yeah. For me, I'm like, for me, I'm looking at like, okay, but they shut the servers. They shut the servers off tomorrow, and you have nothing. So
and you spent 10 grand or whatever to get that. So
and it's like, for me, my thought is, you spent 10 grand for that in-game stuff. You could have spent 10 grand and gone on a complete vacation, catered vacation, like taken care of.
Yep.
You could have done that. You could have spent 10,000.
You could have flown business class too.
You could have bought a car.
Yep.
For that, you could do so much with that. But I won't understand. And I've spent money on Genshin Impact. I spent a little bit. I don't spend $10,000, but I spend money. I spend an appropriate amount for what I want to put in. Like, and that's like, honest to God, every month to 2 months, maybe I put in $10. That's what it is.
I was gonna say, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but have you actually bought like Primo Gems / Pulls in Genshin, or have you, only
not
bought
Pulls.
the Battle Pass?
I have bought gems so that I could buy a character skin.
Okay, you bought a skin. That's right, you told me about this skin.
I bought a skin. I bought the Kuching skin.
Yeah. But you've never bought a pull.
She's like one of my favorite characters. But I've never bought a pull, and the only time that was the only time I've done that with the gems. And then not every time, but like I'll sometimes do the 30 day $5 thing.
Yeah.
Not every month, but recently I've been really inconsistent with it. I'd probably say I've been like 50-50 on the year on it. So like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's not worth it if you don't play it. Yeah. It's one of those things where like if you don't log in, you lose it.
I do log in. It's just like I just never like think about it. I'm like, I don't want to spend it this month because I don't want to like bank for a character for a while.
Yeah.
And then like if I feel like I can get to level 50 in the battle pass, I'll pay the $10.
Yeah.
But I've had times where I didn't get to 50. If I don't get to 50, it's not worth it. when you get to 50, you get like a crap load of rewards.
Yeah, that's one of those things where like you don't have to buy it until the end. You can just wait, and like if you get there, you buy it. If you don't get there, you don't buy it.
That's what I do.
Right?
Like 2 days before the thing ends, I'll get to 50 and I'll pay the $10. I'll get all the stuff, and that's it.
Get all your rewards.
But if I'm like 45, I won't do it because at 50 you get like 680 primo gems.
Primos, yeah.
And so that's like a huge value add-on to get to the 50. But if I don't get there, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And like there are times when I don't because like I'm traveling, I don't play.
680, that's like $10 by itself.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's like, it's 160 primos for one, right? So
one wish.
So it's like four different. It's like
wishes.
4. Yeah, it's like 4 wishes.
It's 4 wishes.
And
so it's not quite half a 10 pull, but a 10 pull's like $30.
Yeah, but like it's close enough for me. I'm like, man, 4, like that's pretty good if you get to 50, and you get the wishes. You get the Acquaint Fates if you buy the $10. So like, for me, if I don't get to 50, like even if I'm on 48, I won't buy it. I have to get to 50. That's my thing. And I've done that like a couple times where I'm like, didn't make it. Oh well, no $10.
Yep.
So, but like for Diablo more, I don't understand people who are like, I'm going to throw $1,000 into this today to fully gear out my character. For me, I'm like, you realize you could have bought Diablo 3, done this whole process, and probably get more. But like for them, it's like, oh, I get to be decked out faster, and like I make way too much money, kind of mentality. It's like, oh, I make so much money, I'm just gonna throw it out here into this game. I'll never, even if I had that much, I would never understand it. Like, it's not worth it. I'd rather just go to Hawaii.
But yeah, I mean, I think overall, Diablo 4 looks cool, and if they can stay in this is a real full game and not a mobile game realm, I think it has a lot of potential. I think it looks really cool so far. So we'll see.
If this ever does get on Xbox, like I don't think Game Pass, right? Maybe this gets on Game Pass at some point in the future. Not early on.
I don't think so.
This might be interesting with like an Xbox xCloud. xCloud being like you could play it on mobile. I don't know. There's like interesting implications for certain games. Like Diablo 4, I think would be a good nominee for like maybe having xCloud access. Like it might be interesting. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think Diablo 4 I think is going to be interesting. And we're getting 6 classes on release. 6. So
6? Oh, that's 5.
I thought it was 6. Either way, 5 or 6, one of the two.
Yeah, I think it's Barbarian, Sorcerer, Necro, Druid, and like Rogue.
Yeah, it's like a rogue character.
I think it's those 5.
Okay, 5. You get 5.
Which I mean, D3 had 5 on release as well.
Yeah.
So
they'll add more in like expansions.
I'm sure. Yeah, if they're gonna add paid expansions, I'm sure they'll add more classes.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about Overwatch 2 briefly. I don't even think we need to talk about the Elder Scrolls stuff. The only thing with Elder Scrolls 6 is they said that it's in pre-production. Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production. I think that's like the main thing.
Yeah, it's in pre-production. It'll be Starfield, then Elder Scrolls 6, and then they said Fallout 5 after that.
Yeah,
so
which Fallout 5 then is like more than 5 years off then. More than 5 years.
Probably, yeah.
So that's a long time.
I would say Elder Scrolls 6, if Starfield's coming out like in the first half of next year, Elder Scrolls 6 is at least 2 or 3 years after that, and then Fallout's probably another 2 or 3 years after that.
I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 will be at least 3 years, and then Fallout will be another 3 years, I imagine, depending on if they reuse stuff.
You're looking at like 2028, 2029 for Fallout 5.
Yeah, it's a long time. Long time. Unless they get like another group to work on it, like another huge group to work on it.
Another team, yeah.
They showed off Overwatch 2. In the showcase, they showed off Junker Queen. They showed off Junker Queen, and then we got this stuff. So, October 4th is the free-to-play is the free-to-play version of the game, which is the multiplayer. So it says free updates every 9 weeks to ensure there's always something new to experience, which that's a good seasonal model. That's good timing. 5v5
Halo.
Ugh, God. 5v5 PvP. Yeah, Halo. God, come on. Like, they didn't even show Halo during the showcase. Like, what a mess up.
They don't have anything. It's 6-month seasons.
I don't know.
Like,
say
it's
something.
Insanity.
Say something. I don't know. Like, it's your big title. Say something. Cross progression, so that's good. PvE is going to be pushed to 2023, which I don't know why. Like, I guess I just wanted to get the multiplayer out as fast as possible. Which,
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be loot boxes again, so they just want to get the cash cow going for the free to play.
So here's October 4th, 3 new heroes, 6 new maps. Okay. 30 plus new skins. I'm glad they put all the work into that. New battle pass. Battle pass being out like day 1 for that. New mythic skin. I don't know what that is. New game mode. I'm not even gonna comment on like the heroes and maps thing. Like they I don't know how long they've been working on Overwatch 2, but if it's more than 2 years and they only added 3 heroes, I'm just gonna be like, okay, whatever.
I mean, yeah, they updated a bunch of the old heroes.
They did.
Too, but still,
they did update them. I don't know if I expected more than 3, but 3 is, I think it's fine. 6 new maps, I think, is fine. Like, that's pretty good for the next game. I'm sure they're gonna reuse old maps too. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see more on the battle pass, but and then they talk about some future updates, which, I mean, yeah, of course they're going to have new heroes maps new modes is interesting. They're going to add new modes in the future, which I find kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm if I'm going to be honest with you, Spoon, I think it could have been worse. My only problem with Overwatch 2 is during the beta, there's another beta period, by the way. There's another beta period coming up very soon. And I know that because somebody in this like feedback form that I put out to like, what should I play? I had like a certain follower amount. I hit 200 followers. They like, play Overwatch 2 and told me exactly when the next beta was. And I'm like, okay. On stream. And like, the last beta period for me, I'm just like so underwhelmed. I'm like, okay, but
I mean, it's still Overwatch. I think the big thing for me with this is that I was expecting you like to have to pay like $40 or $50 or $60 for this.
True,
again.
And it's free.
At least it's free to play. Yep. Like Overwatch 2 multiplayer is free to play. I'm sure the PvE stuff you're gonna have to pay for. I'm sure that's gonna be like DLC expansions if you want to pay. If you want to play that, you're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, sure.
But I think going free to play with Overwatch 2 is probably the best decision they could have made with this.
That was the right decision.
I honestly think it's brilliant, and I'm really surprised that they did it, because I was expecting this to be, again, like another $40, $50, $60 full price game that was basically the exact same thing as Overwatch 1 with 30 new skins, 6 new maps, 3 more heroes, some hero updates, and that's it. Like,
the free to play part is really good. I mean,
I think
that's really good.
Yeah. That's the best decision they could have made with Overwatch 2, and it was a big surprise to me. Am I going to play it? Probably not, because I don't really not like Overwatch. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm just not very good at Overwatch. I'm not a super big like PC shooter player, but I think I think going free to play with it was a really smart decision, to be honest.
You increase your potential audience, and you're doing the right thing, which is what other games are doing. Like, other games are doing this free to play model. You still can get income from Battle Pass and your skins and all that crap.
Yep, and your loot boxes.
And your loot boxes. But I'll play it. I'll play it. We're getting the crew back together.
Getting the crew back together.
Getting this Hectic and all them back together. I can get.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I'll. Crowns. They can carry me.
Maybe I'll download it. Since it's gonna be free. Maybe I'll download it and try it. I probably won't spend Probably won't play it very much, and almost certainly won't spend any money on it. But yeah,
I mean, it's
cool.
It's free.
Do they have a battle pass in Overwatch 1?
No. Overwatch 1 came out before battle passes were really a thing.
were really big, yeah.
Yep.
And Overwatch 1 was you had to buy that game.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't a free-to-play game.
Overwatch 1 came out before Fortnite started doing battle passes. Because Fortnite wasn't a thing when Overwatch came out. And then Fortnite and Overwatch never adopted a battle pass because by the time that the battle passes were becoming a thing, I think somebody said we need Overwatch 2.
Yeah, they were already.
And we're not gonna work on the next thing.
It's like we're not gonna update Overwatch 1 anymore.
Yeah,
we're just gonna make Overwatch 2.
Yeah, we're done.
Like,
so
Overwatch 1 is in maintenance mode now. So yeah.
Basically it was with maybe like updates here and there with character updates. No, I'm excited. I'm getting the group back together. I can get carried. I was not very good at Overwatch. I played with those guys, and they made an entire comp, and I was Soldier 76. So like our whole comp is going to be to carry you. They were pretty honest about that game. About that game I played with them. They're like,
I mean,
Otto, we literally built our comp around you, and you were horrible. And I'm like, oh, this is what you get. This is what you get. You had hope in me, and that was your mistake.
I mean, yeah, it's you have to play this type of game a lot to be good at it.
Yeah, well, you do. It's practice. You have to practice.
Yeah, these hero shooters, these PC shooters in general, just take a lot of practice, and the people who do play them and are good at them, they play them a lot. They play the game like
100%.
Like those guys who used to be an Overwatch team, I'm sure they played Overwatch pretty much exclusively.
They played every day.
Yeah.
They played every day. Like, really, they played every day, and then when they were as a team, like when they're actually trying to be competitive, they played every day. They scrimmed multiple times a week. They played in tournaments when they could. They played in all this stuff. They weren't as active as other people. Like Trounce, when he moved, Sama, I think in my server he's Sama, but I just call him Trounce because when he first joined the team, his name was Trounce in game. But he, like, his teams, when he was like, I don't want to say high tier open division, but like they were good. They were like he would play every day for a long time, and he'd scrim almost every day. And then everything possible, like tournaments.
If you're playing that seriously, one, you're gonna get really good at it, and two, like, you're playing it like it's a full-time job, basically, right? They're playing it that much.
Trounce was. The other group, when I was with them, they weren't doing that. But like Trounce was. He was the one that was playing way more than everybody else.
Still, even those other guys, like, you're playing at least a few hours every day, right?
Yeah, they are.
Which is not insignificant.
No, they are.
If you're like you and me, how we're just like casual, it's like, yeah, we'll hop in and play every now and again.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna be bad because we don't play enough.
No, it's like 100%. Like I meme about Vis's Doomfist and all that, but like their ranks were all like they were all 3,500 or above. Like, and Sama Trounce was easily the highest. He hit like Grandmaster. Like he was like Grandmaster rank several times. They were good. And then like they would play every day, multiple hours. They were very good. And like even Vis was very good. They were crazy. But us mere mortals would never understand the efforts. But I mean, like when you practice enough, you make up for things. Like in Halo, like I played a lot of Halo and I got good at it because you play it enough, you learn a few things.
Yeah.
You pick things up. So
I don't know. At least for me, like, I'm a different kind of gamer. I've never been able to like maybe not never, but like more recently at least, I like to play not lots of different games at the same time, but I like to play different games. Like, I like RPGs, and RPGs are contained experiences. You play through the game, you see the story, you finish it, and you move on to the next thing.
Right.
Like, the only games that I played a lot, were back in like high school and I guess college. I played Halo 3 a ton in high school, and then we played COD a lot in college. But
we got a lot, yeah.
Other than that, I don't think I've ever played like a single game that much. Like,
I would prefer to, like, even when I was playing Halo recently, I would still much rather play with somebody else. Somebody else, even like, that's why I don't like to grind games like Halo. Like, I grinded Halo enough where I was like, okay, I can play this game. Okay, I'm good. I'm done for now.
And you grinded HOTS for a little bit too.
Oh yeah, I grinded that for a while too, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty good. I'm done.
Yeah.
I just don't want to commit to it, and it's not my job, so not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just play with other people. Like Fortnite, I don't necessarily play by myself. I only play it with Bree and them because it's way more fun to do that than try and like grind Fortnite or something. So usually I only play like twice a week. But I just like it because it's a nice thing to do. Like I can play an hour of Fortnite, and it's like I can get like maybe 4 or 5 games in Fortnite, like an hour and a half. You know, I like that. That's nice. Like I only have an hour. If I boot up FF7R, I don't make that much progress.
You're not going to get anything done in that game in an hour.
On my schedule, there are times when I'm not sitting here. Like when I stream, like that 2 hours I stream, whatever. That's pretty much what I get. So,
yeah,
that's just how it is.
No, I'm, as a, mostly JRPG player, when I'm playing my JRPGs, I like to have a good at least 2 hours, but usually like a 3 or 4 hour block.
You have
to
to bank
play
time.
if I'm gonna play one of those. Like I would like to have a 3 or 4 hour block to like just sit down and play for like I'll finish dinner and then I will play for like 3 or 4 hours after dinner and then go to bed or something like that. So
for me, I'm like, okay, well, I got like 2 hours, and then after my stream at night, I'm getting ready for bed. Like I'm doing all this other stuff, and then I get ready for bed. That's it. And like I get like work ends at 4-ish for me, sometimes later depending on how long a long meeting goes, and then I get dinner, and then I get my stream, and that's it. Like I don't have enough time banked. So like for me, playing Halo and like HOTS was great because I had like an hour banked. Okay, I can just play this for an hour and move on with my next activities that I have to do. Like with JRPGs and some of these other story-driven games, it's really hard. If I spend an hour on that, I maybe played one mission. I maybe did a mission. Maybe. Depending on the length of the game. I maybe completed a mission. And then I'm like, well, I guess I'm saving and done. I made very little progress today.
Yeah.
So that's why I like those games.
That being pretty frustrating, playing one of those games. Feeling like you played for an hour and you got nothing done.
I got barely anything done. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Like, that's just how it is. It's just how it is sometimes. But if I wanted to play like that kind of thing, like a JRPG, I'd have to like basically plan around it. I'd be like, okay, well, I got like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. If I can bank that, all right, well, certain stars have to align. Like tomorrow, for example, I could do it. Like Kate would go to work. So there you go. Otto needs to get his priorities straight. I agree. My priorities are not completely straight. Actually, after this, here's what I'm doing. After this podcast, here's what I'm doing. I get a 1 hour break, and then I am going to go to a sports game. Going to go to a little local soccer game with Kate. And then after that, wrapping it up, almost bedtime. My day is, but my day tomorrow is going to be much more free because Kate goes to work. So I get from like 11 a.m. until 5 to 6 p.m. and I'm just here. That's the JRPG time right there. That would be like the JRPG time.
That's JRPG time.
But every other day, that's nope, can't do it. That's just how it is. It's very frustrating. But at the same time, that's why JRPGs are very hard for me to get into. But beyond just like the length is a chore sometimes for me. The story is not the problem, really. Sometimes it gets boring, but that's just how it is. Kate needs to work more, I see. I mean, she works weekends. Working weekends sucks. Thinking about it, like it really sucks. So it's tough. But anyway, yeah, that was all the stuff we had for today. I think we had other topics to talk about, but I think I'm okay, like kind of saving some of this stuff.
Yeah, I think we can shelf that for Thursday. I mean, I don't know how much, we only have like 4 days until the next podcast, so I don't know how much news we're going to have to talk about on Thursday, so
we can shelf some of it, yeah.
Shelf those topics and talk about them on Thursday.
The things we're going to talk about were, I finished Coromon, but I wasn't going to spend much time on that. I was going to spend maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. And and then you're going to talk about Songs of the Path of Radiant Symphonies.
Yeah.
That's it. I think I got the name.
Yeah, it's just called Symphony of War. There's a subtitle, which is the Nephilim Saga, but I just call it Symphony of War.
Okay, Symphony of War, which
is a indie strategy RPG in the vein somewhat of Fire Emblem, but apparently the more bigger inspiration was an old series called Ogre Battle. Because your units are not individual units, they are squads. They are squads of units, basically, which have a leader, which are mostly your named, and your characters are the leaders, and then you have a bunch of like generic soldiers that you place into your squads.
Sure.
But there's a lot of tactics to organizing your squads and stuff like that. But I won't go any further than that. It's a cool game. It's $20 on Steam, but it was like 20% off when it came out. That sale is probably over by now, so I got it for $16.
A couple bucks off. Yep.
But from what I've heard, it's pretty long. So definitely bang for your buck on that one.
Got it. We'll save it for Thursday, because we'll definitely have less to talk about Thursday. Like, there's no more like, we didn't even talk about Capcom, but like a lot of people did their showcases / like reveals and stuff like the past week and a half.
No Nintendo though. The rumors have been swirling that June 29th is going to be the day that they
we'll know. And you know what? We'll know June 28th.
Yeah, we'll know June 28th.
They'll be like, hey, we're doing a 1 hour and 30-minute direct. When? In 12 hours. It's like, God, tell me.
I will be very surprised if Nintendo does not have a direct in the next like couple of weeks.
No, they'll do one before June for sure. They'll do one before June. Before June
July.
Ends.
Before June
ends. I was gonna say before June ends. Sorry, I just didn't finish my thought. But they'll do one before June ends. That's a guarantee. And they'll show Breath of the Wild too. They'll show gameplay.
There were some rumors and screenshots about a new Fire Emblem game, so we
Fire Emblem romance simulator again. Yes, I'm back in. There should be. It's been 4 years since 5. Been almost 5. So, Fire Emblem is due for another mainline game. Due for another. So yes, I think that makes sense. But they're probably gonna show Breath of the Wild 2 or something. Or we're gonna get the classic, hello, I'm person X. Sorry, we're not talking about Breath of the Wild right now. Please come back in 2 months. Classic Nintendo. Three Houses with 20. Oh, I thought it was 2017 for some reason. I don't know why I thought it was 2017.
2019.
I'm not connecting the dots.
3 years is
a
while.
That's still long enough where they should show something. If they're actually like making significant progress. So anyway, any other thoughts, Spoon, before we leave?
Nope. I think we can call it and save those thoughts for next time.
Sounds good. Well, I'll bank some more thoughts on Coromon because I want to talk about the game, but also I love that it's got built-in randomizer settings.
The rando, I saw some of that. The rando looks pretty cool.
That is great. If only Pokemon had such drive to add things like that to their game.
Omega lol.
Anyway, all right. That's good. Thanks everyone for stopping by. We'll be back Thursday, and we'll share also the future schedule of podcast episodes as well at that time. So thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.